Jesus might have been smoking weed back in the day. He was a carpenter. Who do you know that does construction don't smoke a little weed once in a while? I've been smoking weed for Jesus lately. And I understand how that might be offensive on the face value of it. But you know what's more offensive is these right-wing Christian fanaticals who blow up abortion clinics and kill doctors and nurses and office help and people who are just looking for birth control, and the Mexican gardener who thought the bomb was garbage. He's like, pinche basura. And they kill all those people and they do it for Jesus, and I think that's more offensive than smoking weed for him. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm smoking weed for Jesus. You ever smoke weed with somebody who asks stupid questions? Just stupid questions that have no relevance to what you're doing at the time? And it's just an annoyance. That's my friend Johnny West. He always has the same, well, he asks dumb questions all the time. And they always start the same way. Dude, what? Dude, what would happen if the world spun the other way? How is that relevant to what we're doing now? We're sitting here eating Honey Nut Cheerios watching The Price is Right. So if the world spun the other way, the mountain climber go up the opposite side of the hill. You're retarded. Shut up. You don't get to talk after the Showcase Showdown. The other day, Johnny West asked the first good question he's ever asked. He was like, dude, what? And we were high, by the way. I mean, we were stoned like a couple of biblical whores. We were high. And he's like, dude, if you could smoke weed with anybody throughout the history of the world, who would it be? I'm like, ooh, that's a good ass question, Johnny West. A lot of people say like Snoop or Dr. Dre, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley. Not me, I took it old school. Jesus Christ. And I know some of y'all over here in the Bible Belt don't want to do that. They don't want to laugh at smoking weed with Jesus. Oh no, that's horrible. Ralphie, we're out here getting drunk and we were laughing about finger banging and fucking and blowjobs. That's okay. When you start talking about smoking weed with Jesus, oh my goodness, we're going to have to go to church tomorrow just because you said that. You bunch of hypocritical rap bastards. Don't play that crap on me like you're holier than that. Ain't nobody more Christian than my family. We're half Catholic. I think Jesus might have been smoking weed back in the day. He was a carpenter. Who do you know that does construction don't smoke a little weed once in a while? Long hair, flip-flops, hung out with 12 dudes with no visible means of support. That's a stoner to me. It would be cool to smoke weed with Jesus. You're like, damn, Jesus, that's deep. You should like write that down, man. People get off to that, dude. Start a blog like Jesus.com, man. That gets like a gang of hits, dude. Woo, everybody be reading like, what's Jesus' words of wisdom today, man? You can like change the life, man. Man, I'm deep just because I'm hanging around you, dude. After that knowledge you just dropped on me, oh man, so let me get this right, Jesus. You say nobody's got to go to church? The church was an institution that was formed 500 years after you died? For real? And a matter of fact, that's the only institution you ever preached against was the church. For real? So the house of the Lord is everywhere because he made everything. It's in a sunset and a child's laughter. It's all there, right? For real? That was pretty deep on my part, wasn't it, Jesus? Yeah, my daddy, he wasn't nothing, man. He worked in a chicken plant. You know what I'm saying? It's some good light-skinned kid ever say one. You know everyone, Jesus? For real? You know everybody, Jesus. Why you doing that to me, man? Oh, pass. I'm sorry, Jesus. Here you go. Hey, Jesus, on the real? Dude, did you write that footprints in the sand poem? That's a good-ass poem, though, ain't it, Jesus? I always had a question about that poem. If God was carrying that guy through the worst parts of his life, wouldn't his footprints be a little deeper? Because when I go to the beach, I sink up to my shin. I ain't gonna lie to you. Go ahead and finish that joint, Jesus. That's all we got. All we got is this little baggie of stems and seeds. How about a little help? Come on, Jesus, hook it up. And Jesus, he'd be reluctant to lay a miracle on you. He'd be like, oh, okay. Jesus, look at this weight. It looks like little sugar-coated Christmas trees. With blue hair, man. We can sell this for 108. The little white boys at the university ain't never seen nothing like this. Jesus be great, man. If you got the munchies, he could take one little Debbie snack cake and feed like 80 people with it. This oatmeal cream pie is my body. Oh. Just in the nick of time, Jesus. We thought we was going to have to go to Taco Bell.